Okay, is this Monday already? Whew. Hey, I hear Donald Trump's should get out of the hospital. Sounds like he's doing okay with his mysterious flu disease. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. If he comes through this with flying colors at 74 years old, you can pretty much put a lot of this into the BS category. Yeah. So let's get on with this thing. See you in a second. Hey, Rich, Disney Homestead. How's that great? I had heard a quote the other day. I believe it came from Mike Tyson. Okay, that says a lot about what's going on in society today. And I heard Mike, I think, had it pretty much tagged it. He said that social media has made these young people today too comfortable with disrespecting people that would normally get you punched right in the face. It is a situation of youth today, and it's a generational thing. They never had strong leadership in the home, a lot of single family, a lot of single moms. So they didn't have that masculine energy in the house, which really, men basically are very violent. I've done some research on this a few years back, and men are basically very violent. They will escalate quickly from argument to violence. Now, after they get done beating the heck out of one another, they'll probably go buy each other a beer, especially if the guy was a good fighter. He put up a good fight. It's like, there you got a couple good shots in there, man. Come on. But that, I think, is what society today is really missing. If you'll ever watch even these protesters, they want to get up in your face and call you everything but a human being. Don't touch me. Don't touch you. Don't. I'll call the cops. Okay? See, I wouldn't make a good out of a protest line. I bust a noodle, man. I'm sorry. You stand there calling me everything but a human being, I'm probably going to bust you in the mouth. All right? That simple. So, and I think that's some of the run-ins the Proud Boys have. There's a lot of masculinity there in that group, and these kids don't understand how to deal with that. They really don't. I think one of the things that this country could do to probably make it a better place to live in is you come out of high school, you go straight to the military. Straight into the military. A lot of countries do that, okay? And it has a way of kind of shaking all the nonsense out of your ear that your schooling has put into it. And this is reality. This is the real world, okay? Open your mouth to the wrong person, you're probably going to be gumming your next meal. A lot of that is lost in America today. And it's a shame. Masculinity is bad. We've had all the feminists tell us that. But yet, at the same time, when you sit them down and talk to a woman, she will tell you that masculinity is also a big attraction to them. They want a man that can protect them. They want a man who makes decisions. All right? They don't want a soy boy. They might marry one for an income or for financial security, but they're gone as soon as the first guy comes in, the bad boys, as they like to call them, that doesn't play it. So there's a lot to it. It's genetic. We can't get around it. We're human beings. It was kind of put into us way back when. And I think that's a little bit of the problem today. And, physical combat is no longer optional. These kids have to go to guns, It's kind of crazy. But there's a lot of that going on. And I kind of got a kick out of that quote from Tyson, It's like, yeah. It's a lot of the problem. They get on social media and they I used to, now and again I'll still do it. I'll get a troll comes through and I'll mess with their heads a little bit. But for the most part, anymore. I've gotten to the point to where I just don't need the headache, and I'm not gonna play it with it. It's like, okay, banned. Who needs it? If you can't articulate that you disagree, all right, without going to personal insults immediately, then I have a problem with you. Okay, number one, it'd be a little like arguing with a 3-minute egg to start with. So I argue with some. I'll deal with. But if their comment had enough meat and potatoes in there to say at least they're thinking, then I may try to show them here's why I disagree with you. But for the most part, no, trolls, I'll just blow them off. But that's the thinking and the logic that goes on today, and it amazes me, is that we are becoming a country of wusses. Seriously. And I think it has a lot to do with we've overprotected the youth today. Okay? Man, when I was growing up, you, as a teenager, would not walk up and start calling the average dude on the street everything but a human being unless you were looking to get into physical combat with that guy. Because that's where it's going to go. With most men that have masculinity, and this is what a lot of research shows, masculine male will go from a disagreement to an argument. That will escalate pretty quickly, and it will escalate just as fast from an argument to physical attack. Society today is trying to get us totally away from that. I do believe it's a mistake. I think the youth of the day needs to get a backhand every now and again. It's what it takes. Kids are not being disciplined today. Their parents let them get away with murder. That's like when I see these people that let their dogs run loose, attack people, and encourage them to be aggressive dogs and stuff. If you live way out in the Tules to where you're 5 miles away from anybody, that's fine if you're needing a watchdog. If you're living in a residential section, you got some pit bull that will jump through a door to chew on somebody. No, they shouldn't put the dog down. They should put you down. Okay, I have a pit bull right now. Very laid back dog. Very laid back dog. Oh, she'll stand up on the porch, and if the male lady's walking up or something like that, she'll bark at her a couple of times and then shut up. It's not tolerated. She knows that. Aggression's not tolerated. Dog is very laid back. She'll bark. She does her job. Somebody comes into the yard, she barks a little bit to let me know somebody just came into the yard, so I know that they're out there. But she doesn't go after. Now, if she was a country dog and stuff, yeah, a little extra aggression comes in handy. But not around here. We've got neighbors. I've got neighbors in the immediate area. All right, I don't want my neighbors getting chewed on by some pit bull. It's just what you do. So, I think a lot of the problem in America right now today is, number one, we are not calling it out for what it is. If you're woke, if you're into identitarian politics, if you're into all this kind of silly stuff, okay, running around pointing the finger at people, you're racist. The color of your skin says you're racist. Huh? Think about that for just a minute. You're white, so you have white privilege, and you're racist. So you're looking at the color of my skin and making all these judgments, are you? What's that make them? What does it make them? By definition, what does it make them? When you judge somebody by the color of their skin, that they're bad because of the color of their skin, what's that make you? These woke individuals, these people into identity politics, they're racist. And I will probably hear some nasty comments out of this, and I don't really care. You're racist, so I don't much care what you have to say, because I really don't like racism. That's where we need to get to. If you got some troll out there driving you nuts, spouting this nonsense off at you, just keep you're racist. You need to fix that. And then they reply something else, just reply, you're racist. You need to fix that. Okay? We as people don't like being called racist. So we try to defend ourselves. Okay? If you'll think for 30 seconds, have you judged them by the color of their skin? Or do they judge you by the color of your skin? If they're judging you by the color of your skin, you're looking at the racist. All right? Let's quit playing their game. Okay? If you can tell that I'm bad because of the color of my skin, you are a racist. All right? If you can say that I've got some sort of character flaw because of the color of my skin, you're a racist. Oh my. And we need to start handling it just that way. I'm sorry, you're a racist. I don't talk to racists. And when you hear these idiots standing there, total white kids screaming that kind of stuff, you're white, you're. Do you think so little of yourself? Have so little self-respect? We need to quit listening to it. America, quit listening to it. We've got enough problems out there in the world. We're having to deal with China. We're having to deal with this. China and us are locking horns. We have well, the military would call it a fourth generational warfare going on. Okay, where we're playing with each other's heads and supply lines and cyber attacks and things of this nature. We don't have time for this nonsense. But here's something I want you to think about and think real hard on. The Democratic Party, the reason they're willing to pull out all these stops in this election, they'll even go to fraud heavily, doesn't matter. Because I think they fully understand that if they don't get Donald Trump out of that White House and get the AG changed out and stop these investigations as a political party, they're done. When all this starts hitting the fan, they're done. But they're trying to get you to back away from them because they're going to call you a racist if you don't. Understand, if they're judging you by the color of your skin, that, my friend, by definition, is a racist. So who's the racist in here? Quit letting them intimidate. Okay? Quit letting them do that to you. The Democrats are liable to pull anything this election. And what concerns me is you have people out there who are going, no, we're not going to allow that. If this election is heavily flawed and fraud is taking place, I'm not going to put up with that. We need to wake up and understand that the Democrats are more than aware, okay, that this is not going to be good if they lose. Their party's going to get disassembled, and we know it. They're going to go the way, and I've said this many times for a long time now, they're going to end up going the way of the Whigs. So they're willing to do anything up to the point of destroying this country. Kind of like, the jealous spouse. If I can't have you, nobody will. They're willing to go that far. Okay? They're holding hands and singing Kumbaya with Red China, which is communist. They're holding hands with Black Lives Matter, or letting them stir up stuff. They're communists. They won't even paying their bail even. You're talking about Joe Biden staffers and his vice president are paying the bail of people out here in the streets rioting. Think about that for a minute. And when you think about that, we're going to have to stand up and say it's enough. It's nonsense. So they are helping them do what they're doing. And this is supposed to be the leadership of the Democratic Party. You look at the current nonsense. You got the governor out of California shuts down the wineries, except for his. Nancy Pelosi won't let the hairdressers work and let the salons be open unless she needs to use it. You see that throughout the Democratic Party. What applies to you doesn't apply to me because I'm better than you. That's the Democratic stance. The days of them helping the working class of this country ended a long time ago with the labor unions disappearing, and they really weren't helping you. They were just giving the labor unions what they wanted to get reelected. See where it's at? It's like all the promises they're making to the black community, they never fulfilled a doggone one of them. And if blacks would stop for 30 seconds and realize they've had a president recently who has really pushed and still wants to push further to help the black communities do good. But they're going to run off and vote for the Democrats again. That, my friend, is stupid. Has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has to do with what's going on between your ears. That's stupid. That's what this election is about. Be advised. Don't be surprised when you start seeing things that you've never seen happen in an election before. Okay? Because it's no holds barred for these people. They know that there's some charges coming. They know it's going to be a lot of bad PR is going to come out of it, to where they're going to have a hard time doing anything other than going away. Joe Biden, another one I remembered they didn't tag him on, stood on that podium the other night and said repeatedly he did not back the new Green Deal. I think the man needs to go read his damn website. It's part of his platform. Even calls it the new Green Deal. So, and the media allowed him to sit there and blatantly lie like that. I was able just to go to his website and look it up. And he lied. That's lie number 4 for Mr. Biden at that debate. So, Joe can't seem to tell the truth. Seems to be a problem there. Better wake up, people. And understand, this election is not about the Democrats in the country. They can care less about you. As long as you go out to the polls and vote, after that, they're done with you. At least for another 4 years. That's like back when Barack Obama was running. Everybody, oh man, I'll tell you what. And it was kind of cool that there was a historic event that we had a first black president. You know? I thought that was great. Didn't much care for him as a politician because I lived up in Illinois while he was up there and I knew he was a do-nothing dude. But the fact he made it, right? I was impressed with that. And thought it was good for the country. Figured it'd be even more to unify, because the country wasn't all that terribly divided when he first got elected. Sure it was by the time he walked out of that office. What? Think about that for a minute. But my whole thing was the black community was looking for change. They were really looking for him to help them get on top, to really turn what was going on in these cities, these urban areas, and help them become part of the American dream. Did he give you any helping hands? Donald Trump in 4 years gave you the lowest black unemployment rate in the history of this country. Think about that for a minute. I've heard enough on race, and it's time we as a people in this country, white, black, red, Asian, doesn't matter, no longer tolerate that stuff coming out of Democrats. Look them right in the face and say, you are judging me or the color of my skin. Doesn't mean I'm a racist. It means you are. And I don't much care for racism, which is the history of the Democratic Party. Wanted Trump to, they were really after the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys are not out burning towns and killing people. KKK, whole different story. Neo-Nazis, different story. Trump was right on it, yeah. And he's denounced those without them he's been president. And just the media didn't cover it, so the Democrats don't know anything about it. Like it's something new. The man's been putting down white supremacy and racism and so forth his entire term as president. But most Democrats don't. They watch CNN. See what I'm saying? We need to wake up, folks. This is Rich Jesse Homestead. Love you guys, I appreciate you. But seriously, need to start using that gray matter between your ears a little bit. Stand up and just say enough. Y'all have a great week. Talk to you later.